okay. We're just trying to get everything in the right spot. I was going the wrong way.
Do you mean me? Do you mean you?
Yeah, whatever. Sorry, not trying to make anyone dizzy. I'm just trying to get this all sorted. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. What? I've forgotten to shorten the pole. Oh, sorry, my dress. Okay, we'll try with that. Pardon? No. Hi, Aurora. Going down. Yeah. How are you, Aurora?
My brother's in bed. I dislike you right now, Aurora. I dislike you right now. Oh, goodness.
That'll have to do today. Everybody will have to see the whole board. I can't work it out.
And I'm the first like.
I'm not too bad, thanks, Aurora. A little hot. A little concerned because now my next door neighbours have come home, so it's probably going to get noisy. Hopefully they don't fight tonight.
Thanks, Aurora.
Hi, Melinda.
Hey.
I'm excited now because I finally get to crack these open. It's been so hard not to open them. To have a look inside. So tonight we're having a look at these Deluxe watercolors from the Papermill. I don't know anything about them. I couldn't find anything online. I just know they're normally $50 and they had 40% off everything, so I got them for $30. Now if I can even open them.
That's me.
I can't get in. Oh, shivers. Well, that went well. We've got pans everywhere. They even get a little sponge. That's cute. Let's see if I can work out where everything goes. I get the feeling.
Melinda said that at least you know that they're removable.
Yep. And we have these little fold out bits. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Until she drops things on the ground.
Ah, it's part of the course. That makes a pretty big palette. Oh, look, it has numbers. Yeah, names. There was no names. Oh, it's got this little dish is ceramic, so that's pretty cool.
You don't want to drop those.
I actually meant to get one of my ceramic plates out, but I forgot. Do you want me to write these out for you, Miss Assistant?
Sure.
Oh dear. Okay, I did mix something up. If that doesn't come out.
They do come out.
So what colour is that then? I'm confused.
Wait, I thought you were actually doing the swatches.
Yeah.
Why don't you do them first?
Okay, we're going to have to figure this out as we go. Because I don't know which ones are in the wrong spots. Oh, it doesn't really matter. They just tell you what they are.
Oh, my fingers.
And then we have to work it out ourselves, I guess. Would have been nice if they gave you the colours around. So we've got this little green watercolour brush, and I don't have my water filler thingy over here. Fill it up with the spray bottle. And I'll just spill water everywhere. Have you seen these stamps at the reject shop, Melinda? They're from the new Let's Get Together range. I didn't buy it to make invitations with. I thought I would use it for swatches. So I swatched my dough and ink Inktense pan on here. Pans. But I haven't gotten to these yet. Let's see if I can find one that
She said she actually got them last week.
For these ones, the ones that I have, so these are De La Rowney. I've been buying them from my art shop, and I've been putting in the pigment numbers, the star rating, that's the colour number as they sell it, and then the colour name, so that I can make my own swatches. Because I really, really super wanted the, what are they called? The waffle flower stamps, but they're so expensive. So I bought that, saw that, and thought it would be perfect for swatching. Well, that's useless. That doesn't go on there either. Can you pass the water over, please, Miss Assistant?
Circle ID. Circle ID.
I like it so much I might actually go back and buy a second stamp set, because they are cheap and probably might not last very long.
This is one with sponge.
Well, it hasn't been wet, so it's very hard, so don't squeeze it because you might wreck it. Okay, where's my first blank page?
They don't look like they're in order.
They didn't have an order, they're not.
I want to put them in order.
They were sort of in order, but then this row down here I think was all over the place already, so we'll just have to sort it out later. And I'm going to cut these swatches out to put in a swatch book, so let's see how they go. We don't need stamps anymore. Oh, I should have drawn a black line, but I forgot. didn't expect to see the white.
Never see the white.
Oh, do you know? Oh, the chamois. The chamois on the floor now. It was beside me. We're having one of them nights.
You're having one of them nights.
Okay, I'm having one of them nights.
I'm just getting embarrassed by all my friends.
Oh, Aurora's not going to embarrass you. They're nice and vibrant. That definitely packs a punch.
Melinda says, do you refer back to your swatches often, or are they just...
It depends what I'm doing.
When you first get them. And Lana says good morning, and good morning.
Good morning, Lana.
Oh,
good evening from here.
Yeah.
I like the ones, see this just has the colour names. There's no pigment information or anything like that, but I like I'm trying to learn more about colour theory, which I don't know very much yet, so don't expect miracles. And trying to learn pigment information and things like that. So by having the swatches, not those ones, by having the swatches with all the information on them, then I can start to learn pigment numbers and what they mean and things. What colours they are.
Lana's having breakfast.
It's supper time here.
Well, usually night time. Well, usually sleep time for me, but you know. They said your swatches sheet looks very nice.
I found this stamp set. I really like the waffle flower ones, but they're really expensive. So I found this stamp set and it's meant to make invitations. So I'm using this little box here to do watercolour swatch boxes instead of having to rule them up all the time.
And she said, feel free to ask. You know how much I love watercolors.
I might be addicted. Our art shop has had the De La Rowney ones on sale for 30% off. So, because they're clearing them out. So every time I go in there, I get a couple.
And she said, this is so clever.
The stamp set only costs $2.50 Australian, so a lot cheaper than the waffle flower stamp set, which is about $40 here, I think. I could be wrong. Could be around 30, I'm not sure. So the pans are not stuck in. I watched a review of some paints the other day and there was only like half a pan in there. They had something stuck underneath them. It looks like they had a glue or something to stick them in there, but they're just not stuck. I'll have to drop some gum arabic in the bottom of each of the pans. I'm not sure how I feel about this water brush. It doesn't seem to be flowing very nicely. Might try this one. I got it off AliExpress and I've been dying to try it out, so I had an inkjet printer, but it's not accepting any inks at the moment, so I have to get another one. This one might be too big actually. Okay, let's try this one.
I'm multitasking.
No, that's not going to work. You're laughing, Miss Assistant. And it's soaked in too fast.
I like the other way better.
Yeah, me too. Okay, let's see if I've got a water brush down here that actually works.
And then Lana says, when your paint is loose in the pans, you also can just add some water to the bottom. It will glue the paint in there. I had that with my Winsor & Newton paints too.
With my, yeah, it worked with the Winsor & Newton. With my Inktense, it didn't work. So it might be a cheap paint thing that they don't have as much gum arabic in them. Whoa.
That was way too much water.
Yep. I don't know. Because I wet down the Winsor & Newton, the Inktense really well, but they didn't glue back down. So I don't even know if they have any gum arabic in them actually.
My assignments aren't going that well, apart from my English.
Who asked about your assignments?
Melinda.
Yes, not well at all. I don't like assignments. We had to vote today. Oh, this one's not working either.
Well,
the first one was better.
You had to vote. I'm
Yes,
underage.
I had to vote today. Well, at least they are vibrant. Okay, that water brush is out too. The first one was better. Which water brush did I use the other night?
I don't know.
Oh, I used the one from the Inktense pans.
And I don't know where that is.
I know. If this keeps annoying me, I'll change to that one.
Okay.
Well, that's a pretty colour. Miss Assistant, does this colour meet with your approval?
Okay.
I thought you'd like rose madder. Pretty sure that's what that one is. Oh, of course this one's empty too. I was up there today and I was reading all the things and I'm just like, who do I vote for? I don't know anymore. It's so hard. So I was just like, oh, do I vote with who I usually vote with? Do I change it? It says it's rose madder, but there's no pigment numbers. They are... Where's the box? Do you have the box over there?
I don't know. I don't know where the box is. You threw the box somewhere.
Oh, the box is right beside me. So these are what they are called. They're called the Papermill Deluxe Watercolour Pan Set. Came with a nice ceramic little dish. But they are, as it says, art journaling. So I think they're more along the Prima type lines. But they don't have any numbers whatsoever. What? Probably. It's crazy. So I don't even think there's nothing on the pans either from what I can see. So I've got no idea what any of the colours are. And they're some of, like, the top row seems to be in somewhat order, but then after that it's just all over the place willy-nilly. Oh, I didn't clean my brush between. And that one's gone quite milky on top.
Ha ha, Aurora, ha ha.
Don't be mean.
No. There is a reason.
Oh no. Oh, you and Miss Assistant are twinsies.
They both did mine ages ago.
Yeah, but you both got smashed phones.
Hers is probably worse.
What do you think, Lana? Does that look a little bit sappish? Oh, well, they have a sap green on there, so I guess it is sap green. I'm not really looking at the names of the pigments. I'm not getting as much colour out of them as I did with the Inktense for some of the colours, but that's to be expected. The Inktense pack a wallop. I feel like I need to go this way now rather than that way.
Well, it's that way and it's that way. Don't exactly put them in a nice order.
I'll just get the green to dry a little bit more so it's not sopping wet. What are you yammering about? What are you watching?
I'm not watching anything, I'm playing a game.
Ah.
I'm multitasking.
Yeah, I will rearrange the pans, but it was a bit hard to do without. Some of them are really dark. I couldn't tell what they were, so I thought I would swatch them out, seeing as I plan to cut these out anyway. And then I'll be able to sort of work out what their names are, hopefully. Big addendum to hopefully, because, yeah. Well, I'm guessing this one will be the cerulean.
I'll get you back. Wait, I'll get you back, Aurora, for that.
What did she say?
Read what she said.
I'm swatching. You're the one that's supposed to read what she said.
No? And you know I will.
Yeah, I know, Lana. Yeah, I'm not with it today. And now that I've started this way, I don't really want to swap part way through. It's the OCD part of me, I think. Like, I started one way, it's got to be finished that way. Does Miss Assistant like this colour?
I like that colour.
The top one. I have bought so many watercolour paints lately, it's crazy.
Hey, I have one sitting on my stairs.
A watercolour paint?
No, watercolour palette.
Oh, you have my Mission Gold set.
Yeah. And my Year 7 visual arts teacher, which is the head teacher, was like, they're still so expensive. On eBay too.
Not for how many paints you get.
I don't know.
It's less than $100 for 36 paints and the palette.
Not when she looked.
Did she look worldwide?
I don't know.
She needs to buy them from, where are Mission Gold from? I forget.
I don't know. I want to look it up.
I forget. Do you remember where Mission Gold are from, Lana? Ah, yeah. That's the one.
Did you washed your thingy, did you?
Yes.
Doesn't look like it.
I definitely washed my thingy-o.
Your paintbrush, and that's blue.
That's very blue. Ultramarine blue, in fact.
In the wrong spot.
I will be able to work them out later. I was just swatching them.
Yes, but it still hurts my head.
Poor Miss Assistant.
Yep, poor me.
Well, I have a feeling this is going to be the cobalt. So these are somewhat almost in line with what they're saying on there.
What paper do you use to swatch?
I am just using the Montmartre paper. It's not a cotton paper because that's expensive, very expensive here. So I'm just swatching. This is the 180 GSM, but if I'm doing projects, I will grab the 300 GSM one for card making and practice and things. I also have some Arty paper, which is actually rebranded Fabriano, and that is 100% cotton.
Pardon, Aurora? What do you mean?
Yeah, I love using the Montmartre paper. I was doing a class and they were it was for card makers, and they were doing lots of different techniques and things, and they were using the craft papers like Ranger and Prima and things of that kind of nature, the cheaper Strathmore, which I really don't like. And I wasn't fussed on the results I was getting. Some of the ladies were using Ash, but not everyone can afford that. I do have a few bits of Ash, but I'm saving them for special things. Ant season, go away, ants. Ash here for the small pad, the A6 pad I think it is $20 Australian, which is about $15 US. And then for the A4 size, it's $40. So $40 for 12 sheets of paper is a bit ouchy.
Colours based don't have to pay taxes in Australia.
The Arto is a rebranded Fabriano, and it makes it so much cheaper. I got a few packets when it was first introduced to the shop. When our local shop gets new things in, they'll always be on sale for the first month or so that they have them. So I grabbed a few packets to muck around with. They have the Fabriano 25% paper there too. But I think it's only in hot press. Yeah, it's not as smooth as some other cold presses.
There is I can't even say the word. The brand thing, 50% cotton paper too, but I haven't tried that. That's what Lana said.
Fabriano. Miss Assistant says I'm tapping out on that word.
Don't I tap out on most words? Gotta get rid of the clouds. I only this video was sponsored by the game that I'm playing. Oh, it's fun and it's addictive.
I have no idea what you're playing.
That's all good. All good, Nana. I'm playing the newest King game.
So that's the last one.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
So that's the darkest brown. That dark brown. That very dark brown. Oh no, it's the other way around.
And the fun part is going to be working out which one's which.
No, it's not that one, Aurora. It's not that one. And then
Okay, it has a reddish undertone. So we've got burnt sienna, burnt umber, and sepia, but that one has a reddish undertone. I think that one's sepia.
burnt sienna. That's what Lana said with a question mark.
That sounds about right. So if we can, sepia, which means that one is burnt umber. And that one is Payne's grey. Oh no, that was black. Oops. That's Payne's grey. Have to fix that later. And then we've got violet.
The game that I'm playing is Pet Rescue Puzzle.
Cobalt. Ultramarine.
Lana says, I would say the one above burnt sienna is burnt umber, and the yellowish one a yellow ochre. And then she said,
no, yellow ochre's on this page. That's yellow ochre there. That one.
I am playing the newest game. Not the newest game, but it
But
is.
if we go in the order that they have them on there, which is what they've sort of seeming to have been doing, that one would be, yeah, that way.
I'm playing the newest King game, and that newest King game is...
Okay, what have we got up here?
Pet Rescue Puzzle.
So that one was cerulean.
Lana said sepia is a dark chocolate brown colour. And then she said, I understand.
So this one has a reddish type undertone.
You can sort of tell.
So we've got sepia and burnt sienna. They can switch. The burnt umber was the one that was in the middle of them. So they could switch. They could be either. I'm not sure if I have a burnt umber or a burnt sienna to check it against.
You should.
Not necessarily. I have raw sienna. I have raw umber. Burnt umber in the Derwent aquatones.
And then she said the reddish is burnt sienna.
Yeah. So that means that one has to be the sepia. Okay. Yep, there's a yellow green. Permanent green deep, which I think is that one. There's permanent green deep, viridian, turquoise. Oh, that would be yellow green.
So there's no kermit green?
No Kermit green this time. That would be sap green. Process of elimination. And I think that would be the light green.
And then Lana said maybe it's raw umber. Then raw umber looks a little like yellow ochre and or you know what I mean. And then
we have in the palette there's sepia, burnt sienna, and burnt umber.
Sorry, Aurora. If you watched the last live, then you would have seen a Kermit green, but there's no Kermit green in this one, so sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
So that would be the turquoise blue. Viridian. We're getting there. Okay, that page is done. And then this one I think goes in order of what's on the swatch card. Or lemon, yellow, medium yellow, yellow ochre, tangerine. Weird how they swing between regular names and weird names. Brilliant red, cadmium red.
Does it glow in the dark, Aurora?
Crimson lake and rose madder. So I am really guessing that these are not going to be light fast at all.
Perhaps not.
Because they are for art journaling apparently, which art journals are supposed to be closed. I'm just impressed that it came with the little ceramic dish. That's pretty cool for big washes. Doesn't take much to impress me. I was hoping it would have an aqua in it, but it doesn't.
Unfortunately, it doesn't.
And I remember it takes a lot of effort to make an aqua, yes.
Does it really? How come? Oh my goodness.
Because it takes a lot of different colours to mix to make aqua.
Isn't like...
Oh, actually, before I do this, I bring the heavier paper over and see what it's like for mixing. I'm not even going to deal with that. That one's stuck.
Oh, 3 lives. I want 3 lives. I like this game. Ugh.
What?
Just that colour.
It's yellow.
I have a 3 life. I don't have so many 3 lives. Ooh. I have to wait 24 hours. And you already have that orange.
I'm testing the colour mixing.
That's why I do red and blue.
I saw lots of people using ceramic for mixing online and saying how great it was compared to the plastic and things. So I went to secondhand shops and bought ceramic plates. I meant to grab one out before I started, but I forgot.
Now it's too late. Very important time.
I was a bit worried about how it was going to mix to start with, but it doesn't seem to be doing too bad.
Because you're not worried about it.
Oh, that one spreads. I just touched it to that one and it's taken it over.
Do red and blue. Because you don't have really any purple.
Okay, I'll grab this Crimson Lake one. Whoa.
Well, that's pink, not red. do you mean, Aurora?
You two having fun, having a chat?
Not my fault. She's watching the live.
Oh, pretty.
See? When was I meant to touch that one?
Did I?
Oh.
No, everything went well on them.
Bombs and rubber. Damn.
This blue's not very... Oh, I've got a bit more blue that time. I was going to say it's not very strong, and then I dump a whole bunch of blue on there and it gets very strong.
Wait, which show? Nah. I don't know where it is, so.
What?
The ceramic plate.
Let's see if I can get one without spilling everything.
Oh.
Am I looking on the wrong side?
I don't know. And well, I can't exactly be useful because it's on the other side.
It's under me somewhere.
Well, it's under my mother, which is under the lounge. But it's always useful. Bam, bam. I won the game.
So I have... It's been under the lounge a while.
A dusty.
I have 2 of these plates, just if I'm doing small things, and then I have a really long plate that's about that long. But I think the 2 of these plates cost me $5. They were actually part of a set for a food thing, so they sat in something, and I didn't want the thing that they sat in. But where I got it from is a food store, and the lady who I was buying it from, who was working there, she was like, "Can I have this bit?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. I don't want it. It's only going to take up space in my house. I just wanted the plates for watercolor work."
Isn't that the definition of children not useful? Probably.
No, Miss Assistant is doing everything in her power not to be helpful at the moment. Except helping with the live, but everything else I've asked you to do lately is like, no!
That's me. I'm one of the difficult ones. When no one believes me.
Which blue with the warm yellow? Ultramarine or cobalt?
Do you mean typical? Topical? Topical? Do you mean typical?
Yes. Yes, very much so.
Typical teens.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
About what?
Never mind.
No. About what?
I'll try this one first.
I want to know now.
About why we did this to ourselves.
Okay. Are you really, Laura? Are you really? We could always switch places.
Well, that's a bit of a dirty green. That's what I'm going to call it. Dirty green.
Well, we could always switch places, Aurora.
You're always good for somebody else's parents, though.
She says, sure.
How's the moving going, Aurora?
They moved me last week.
All packed up? Is your room all done?
Yeah. No, Aurora, we can do it after you move houses. So you know.
Do what?
Switch. She can stay.
Oh, there we go. There, we've got the pretty green there.
Nowhere close to done.
So they aren't mixing too bad. I don't mind that. Okay, let's try. And make a really wet wash.
Do leaves.
Oh, that was a bit too much water.
Then put more colour.
No, I wanted it to be pale. Now it's got to dry.
And we're not using the heat gun.
I think for cheap watercolors, they're not too bad. They don't seem to be chalky or anything.
I have 2 more weeks at school.
There's nothing rubbing off on my finger.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
And
I was a bit worried. I felt a bit suckered when I bought this because I'm sure the lady said they were $25 and then they scanned it $50, and I didn't realise until after we'd left the shop because it was one of those shops where you can't see how much things are scanning for.
You know what? Aurora has 3 more weeks at school. I only have 2.
Why does Aurora have 3 weeks at school?
It's 11-week term.
Oh, you have work experience. Okay.
Yeah. So I feel bad for her.
Some of the colours aren't as strong in the mass tone when you get them out.
I know until you move, but still, you have three more weeks at school. I have 2 more weeks at school, and then I won't be in school grounds. I'll be at a different school doing my work experience.
Melinda asked you a question. So this brush is not maintaining a point at all. It's just one I got off AliExpress. And I wasn't expecting miracles.
But miracles can happen.
Well, yes, they can, but apparently not with this watercolour brush.
Like with Grace Vanderwall when she said miracles can happen, and then next minute you know she won. And
I was actually quite worried about how they were drying because they have that little
okay.
stuff in the graininess and that in the paper when they're wet, but when they dry down quite matte.
Oh, I can't say the place where I'm doing my work experience. I don't want to say the place I do work experience.
You just say you're doing it at a primary school.
You just said it, so I don't have to say it now. Thank you. But yes, Aurora, I am ditching you for a week, and you probably won't see me until like the start of term 2.
Okay, let's put that aside to dry. I actually printed off some stuff. So this is actually stamp some stuff. Are you going to paint anything? Do you want to paint anything?
I see something to do.
If you want to, I got you that. Did that one for you, or I did that one for you.
They look hard.
That one's easy. That one is embossed,
okay.
So that there you go. I'll turn this sideways.
Shall we get the Mission Gold one?
No.
Aww.
This live is about these paints.
Not exactly. I do want to work with young children, but at the same time, I'm more leaning towards photography. I answered her question.
I also wanted to try adding some of
Shimmer.
my starry colours from Gansai Tambi. So I'm just going to drop some water in some of them. Well, I'll just drop it in all of them because you might want different ones to what I want. If you want some. Okay, we'll set them to the side
Like the little thing, I don't know what that is.
It's from the water brush so that it fits back into the palette. What?
I'm trying to figure out a job that Alexis just doesn't have to be around people. What job could there be?
Data entry. You can do that at home. Lots of people have home jobs with data entry. I thought I would paint.
What brush am I using?
A flower for my mum, and I've just filled the space with water and seeing if they flow.
They don't look like they're flowing. What paintbrush am I using?
What paintbrush do you want to use?
I don't know.
I have the tin down here if you want. Ow!
I found it here.
Proper paintbrush. Yeah, I wish the ants would go away. Okay, you can't use that paintbrush.
What paintbrush? Why?
Because it's an expensive paintbrush.
I did guess.
It's a Da Vinci paintbrush. You can't use that one. I didn't even. I don't. It's not supposed to be in there. Do you want a fine paintbrush? Medium paintbrush?
I like tiny ones, but that's bad because you know.
There you go. One tiny paintbrush.
No, that one.
Too tiny? That paintbrush.
The ears are spiking out.
I couldn't find my paintbrushes, so these are my slightly not as good paintbrushes. Oh, I found the paintbrush roll.
Of course.
I have a big paintbrush roll.
You know what? If I become one of those really famous, like famous people that takes a lot of photos, like the highest paying thing that I've seen is like $1 million.
Yowza.
Like, no, that's good. Not yowza, that's good.
There you go.
Oh.
When it's wet, it will hold a point better. Those ones are meant to hold the point better.
Oh, this one somewhat is. Which one's the clean water? The M one. Oh, I don't know which colours are which because I wasn't really paying attention.
Do you want to have a look at the book?
Yes, please.
Which book? That book.
That book.
There you go. Too many books beside me. So, my mum's birthday is tomorrow, so I thought...
Is it?
Yes.
Can I miss a day of school so I can... Oh, no.
Tomorrow's Sunday.
Oh, wait.
We've got to call her in the morning, but I thought I would make a card for her using this flower. So hopefully I can paint it all right.
Are we doing anything for her?
No, she won't even tell me what she wants.
Yeah, she did.
What'd she say?
One of those river cruise things.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
But you don't even know my name, Aurora. Well, you know, you might. Wait, no, you don't. That's not the ones that we did. They're Derwent. I don't want Derwent. Why did you skip a page?
I don't know.
You skipped a page.
I probably didn't mean to. Stuff happens.
Stuff happens. Stuffity. Ooh, which one's the light green? Mum, which one's the light green?
Well, I think that's the sap, so I think that's the light.
This is... Not paying attention.
Accountant's good, but she still has to be around people because she has to talk to her clients.
No. Oh, yeah. That's true.
I tried to do accountancy, but the law, oh my goodness.
I've watched too many law shows.
I could not work out how people can get away with such things. It was business law,
I
but
don't want that.
just the way businesses can get around the law and stuff boggles my mind. I did not like it.
I know too much stuff about the law. I have to watch the legal one. That's boring. You have to question.
Nobody can hear you.
I don't care.
They just hear whispering.
For me, that's a good thing.
So hopefully I paint this flower okay and I can turn it into a card and my mum likes it.
Or you use this one, the one that I'm doing, and say that I painted it, and then she'll be happy because I'm the one that painted it. Because I don't think she has anything for me.
Probably not. She has one of my very first paintings that I did of a rose.
Well, she doesn't have anything for me.
I don't even like it and she keeps it on display.
I like photography. That's one of the things I could do. I could grow the tape next year. Aurora, what would you do if I only have like 4 days at school? And just do English and a few other subjects. What would you do? Because you'd want me to stay at the school. But then I'd be like, I have other opportunities too. Nah, yeah, you would. But then again, if I can't answer my phone, then what would you do? I can get my L's this year.
Lord save us.
I think I'll be more responsible. Then you know. No one in our family has a manual. Instead of an automatic, don't you have to learn to drive in a manual?
You can learn to drive either, but if you learn to drive in an automatic, you cannot drive a manual for X amount of years, and I don't know how long it is, so don't ask me. Because I don't have a license, so...
Because, you know, I'll probably have to start driving people around.
So I'm using the Fabriano paper here.
Did you say that's too expensive?
Nothing's too expensive for my mother.
True.
Teenagers.
No, do you mean overall? And if I dropped out and had a career, what would you do, Aurora? That's my question to Aurora. Yeah, no, that's probably gonna be me when I have a car and a
So they're not
proper
behaving too badly. I don't mind them actually. I'm not sad that I got this to try.
You're not sad, but you're happy? No, you're somewhat okay?
Yes, I'm somewhat okay. $30, 24 half pans isn't too bad.
Don't say no, I won't comment.
I paid $30. They're usually $50.
Okay.
They were on sale.
And if I don't have any credit, Aurora? Oh, why did I just do that? I still need to use that colour. Oh, I know. Yeah. Bye, Aurora.
Does Aurora have to go to bed?
Yeah.
Good night, Aurora.
I'll sound just like... go out there and call her and just annoy her.
Don't be mean.
What? Basically sisters.
Then don't be mean to your sister. Night, Aurora. Sleep well. It's a very pretty colour.
That colour or my colour?
That one, but I probably should have went with brilliant red. Mum won't mind, but
It's then, so you know. Can you see my head when I do that? No. Good.
So I'm just dropping in the water, then dropping in the colour and coaxing it up.
I'm just painting it straight on. You know what? If I could do it, I want to do an ombre effect, but I can't do ombre. Ombre's hard to do. It's 10:02 at night. What, me?
Yes.
What?
You're funny.
And? I'm not meant to be funny?
Don't you just love the attitude, Melinda?
I'm a teenager, is that what I'm meant to be doing?
No, you're meant to be nice to your mother. And helpful. And not stress her out.
I blame my assignments. Good night, Melinda.
Good night, Melinda.
I'm falling asleep.
How can you be falling asleep?
Even though I've had a lot of sugar, I can still fall asleep.
Well, everybody can fall asleep.
I'm falling asleep right now.
I could never fall asleep while I was painting, I don't think.
I can. Especially when I do it almost every visual arts semester. Unless we're doing theory. Well, actually, technically, in most sense of theory, so you know, it sucks. I caught it! With paint on my fingers.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
A little bit of paint on it won't hurt it.
Straight onto my leg, because I don't care. It's gonna come off anyways. Sticky.
Well, that's a very pretty colour. I like it. Which one did I pick? The cadmium red. I don't think I have any cadmiums in my regular paints. And I doubt that this is real cadmium. Very doubtful. Oh, sorry.
You're lucky I lifted the paintbrush up at the right time. Can't get that spot.
It's already starting to make a divot in the paint though.
Are you sure? Oh, for you.
Yep.
I barely use this. Where's Mod?
Asleep?
Doesn't he usually watch the lives?
Better go to sleep till Silly o'clock.
Well, like I do sometimes. Basically.
Wow.
We should go visit them tomorrow. And then take her out for dinner. And then I just stuffed it up. So, you know, this won't be golden then.
Yeah, just stuff it up. Grab the paper towel and dab that little bit. Get it. You're not on the table, that's why.
That's not it.
You weren't. That was off there.
Oh, that.
Oh dear. Where did I just put that water now? Yeah, I don't know either. Oh yeah, in that little spot.
Didn't work. I didn't care. I do like that, but I'm not keeping it like that. Is that bright?
You're still my head and it's not straight.
I don't care.
Oh dear.
I can talk as much as I want now. Because your wall is not working anymore.
She might come back and watch it tomorrow.
At least it won't be live. So I can't. Oh, wait, no dry.
I need to have a drink.
I drank all my drink when I was playing my game.
I'm drinking some nice Aussie
Blech.
Bundaberg ginger beer.
Yuck.
Yum.
Yuck.
Yum.
Yuck. I know what to do now. I know what I want to do.
What?
But we don't have the things to dry. And it's not on the right thing.
What?
It's this thing that I saw on Facebook. Who's watching? I can't see who's watching.
I don't know who's watching.
But I want to know who's watching. Well, it's both of us and then 2 other people. Whoa.
So, just dropping the water in and
I'm trying that
pulling
now.
out the colour a bit.
What's a nice green? Mum, choose a green so I can put in another.
I like sap for leaves.
Which
I like
one's
the
sap?
sap green.
Which one's that one?
That bottom one.
Okay, I'll try.
It's that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Tomorrow, Sunday.
I'm trying to remember where I've done so I don't muddy up my... Why does that look like a little leaf, a little flower petal behind there? Looks weird.
Which one?
That one there.
Which one? Or my one?
There.
Which one?
That's a petal. But...
Or my one?
Oh. There. What colour are you going to do your flower?
I don't know. I know that Nanny likes red and aqua. Oh, no. I hate this one. Doesn't blaze how I like it too. Tap, 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 tap. light green better.
Which one?
That one.
Yeah, but that's not a very realistic leaf colour. My nail just broke. I'm painting as fast as I can.
Well, you paint as fast as you can. I don't like my painting.
It's alright, doesn't matter if you go out of lines, we'll fix it. Trust me.
You'll fix it. I won't.
No, not you will fix it. You've got to learn how to do stuff.
This is
Teenagers.
This is not the profession.
Oh well, that's one big wraparound.
It's not the profession that I want to do.
If you're using watercolours for your art assignment, you want to know how to fix things.
Not exactly. I mean, how to use watercolour. I can use whatever medium I like, basically. Will I be able to sell my photo, like if I printed it out and put it in the cottage?
I don't know that they would have them in the cottage.
Oh. Well then, I was gonna ask.
Oh, I dropped a bit of water.
You know who? Oh, who's that?
Hi, how are you?
Let's see. 23 hours. Let's get leave time.
We are using the
Do you have any?
Papermill Deluxe watercolour set.
Can I use any other watercolour, or do I have to use that?
Yes, you can use a different watercolour if you want to. What do you want to use?
I don't know. You have green in there.
Don't anymore.
And the other one looks like it has green in it, but it doesn't.
I think that's just the colour of that pan.
Did that just on?
We had some really big storms last night.
Yes, we were. Well, where we are, it was in the red zone and a little bit in the purple, but that was only a little bit and only in certain areas. I want to paint on leaves. Would I be able to sell that?
What?
If I started painting on leaves.
Depends what you're painting.
But I can't paint, so you know.
You've got to practice.
It's beautiful so far. That's all good. Everyone just calls me Miss Assistant because I don't want everyone to know my name.
People do know her name. She just doesn't want people to know her name.
Exactly.
She wants to be anonymous.
Yes. Because that means the whole world would know my name. I don't want the whole world to know my name.
I am attempting to make my mum her birthday card because she loves roses. I probably should have gone with the brilliant red instead of the cadmium red, but I think she'll like this too.
I'll show you what one. The leaf. That one. But, no.
My mum, she's not seeing it. She doesn't watch my YouTube channel. I don't even think she has a YouTube account.
You don't have to have a YouTube account to watch anything. You just can't subscribe.
That's true. But she doesn't even know how YouTube works. Can I have my brush back, please?
Line number 9 ... You know what? Hey, that rhymes.
Oh dear. Definitely one of those days. I'm pretty impressed with these so far. I thought they were going to be chalky and not very nice, but they're turning out really nicely.
Well, I can't wait until I get the other SIM card.
Why?
Because
shouldn't have done that.
Because I'll probably chew through the minutes. But you know, I'll get unlimited calls and texts. Wait, would that be worldwide?
No.
Oh,
it's only in Australia.
That means I can't call them. And you can only call more. Wait, because if I could have gotten the other one. I could have changed the plan.
Staring at it to try and see where to paint next.
Start on the green.
No, I want to finish the red.
Okay.
Don't confuse me.
I like confusing.
Typical kid.
I'm going to go back to playing my game because I like my game.
I thought you were going to go and grab the mission gold or something.
Can't be bothered anymore.
I'm glad I chose this flower. They look stunning on the flower.
Oh, I won't have time to go see many. Damn it. And you would agree.
What have you been up to today?
We started streaming 76 minutes ago and it's very hot.
Sorry, we can't have the fans on when we're streaming.
Well, that makes it make too much noise. Here. Oh. Smart one.
Oh, I think there's another little bit of red that I need to do in there.
Okay. There's been 3 likes, but I liked it. So technically,
I didn't like it.
I know you didn't like it because I don't think you should like it.
Okay, let's get to work on the leaves. And I'm going to go with my favourite leaf colour, some sap green, which Miss Assistant doesn't like.
Sorry, I'm back. I thought you meant your daughter.
No, I'm making this card for, hopefully for my mother. turns the spry old age of 83 tomorrow.
I keep getting her age mixed up. I was getting ahead of the
Can I
time.
see the greens, please?
Okay, the green stick here. Okay.
We did these swatches earlier.
Oh, you did them. I didn't do anything. I sat there on technology playing the game.
Okay, I think I might grab some permanent green. Drop that in as well. This is where it could all go pear-shaped.
That's why you don't have. Oh, that's why you have a second one. You know, I could go run it up. Well, I can run it to her, but you know how.
I'll talk to your sister tomorrow and we'll find out what's doing. That's better. I like those two mixed together.
I keep getting ahead of time.
The sap was a little bit too in your face for me. My favourite sap is Daniel Green's so far. I mean, Daniel Smith's Daniel Green.
Well, that side's darker than that side.
I like that colour. That's nice. Is that just that's just pure sap?
What?
But you did it darker than I did. I'm doing everything very soft.
I dabbed it. I watered it, and then I dabbed it. Oh, good Alana. She was absent, and then she came back because she was swatching a little herself.
I was watching a lady the other day and it inspired me to finally get my paints out and have some art therapy. I was having a bad day. And I was supposed to be doing other things like sleeping. But in the end I did the swatches of the ink tints and then I practiced some flowers, but I did it with a water brush, which obviously isn't the ideal thing to
Isn't the best?
Paint the flowers with, but
no, because the only thing that we really have is the acrylic, and I hated this level.
So I'm going to do something. I did flash them earlier, but I'll be really embarrassing and show you what I did. I was practicing the translucent flowers, so I made the shapes with the water brush and didn't realise that there was a water drop down there for when Miss Assistant was playing with the brushos. So that was my first flower, that was my second flower, and that was my third one. And then that was my first leaves, that was my second leaves, and that was my third leaves. I like the leaves on that one, and I like that flower best, I think.
Well, you know what? When I get told that I have a good, I don't have my.
These ones I got from Riot Art and Craft. I am not sure if they are a brand that is just sold there. I think they might be their house brand. And they're quite a lot better than I thought they were. And they were $50, but they had a 40% off everything in store day, and they were down to $30, which isn't bad for 24 half pans. Yes, she likes to be called Miss Assistant, because she's contrary. And right now I'm mixing the sap green and the, what was the other one called? Permanent green deep for the leaves. Just got to remember where it is, because now my like I will stick it into the black or the Viridian or something. We have some nice people that live around this area.
That's not what I mean. I'm talking people who don't do burnouts at this time of night.
I don't have a ride here. My ride's
In
2.5 hours away by train. But sometimes when I go and visit my friend in Sydney, I'll catch the train half an hour from his place and go to Riot because it's on his line at Miranda. So we just jump on the train and go and have a look-see.
I jumped on the train, had food, then left again.
I'm still disappointed that I missed out on that paper pad, but oh well, what can you do?
Alright, I'm just happy that I got my photo after I got told to put my phone away. But you know, I didn't listen, did I?
We also went there one time to see Delta Goodrum.
Oh, gee. Oh, can they shut up?
I was there too.
No, I'm talking about the recent one.
She wasn't at Miranda, was she?
No. No, the show.
Miss Assistant recently went and saw some of The Voice live.
The pre-recording. I know when it is, but I don't think I'm allowed to say it.
When it's airing? Did they tell you when it's airing?
Yeah.
When you're going to be on it?
I don't know if I'm going to be on it.
Aren't you front row?
Yeah.
You're going to be on it.
I know.
You're all shy and embarrassed now that you're going to be on The Voice.
Oh, no. Well.
No, they were... I saw them before Christmas, the paper pads. And when I went in there after Christmas, they had a bunch of stuff on clearance, including paper pads that they'd just put out before Christmas. Crazy. I don't know how they make money putting them out and having them on clearance that fast.
Damn it, I like the blush was there just a tinsy-wincy longer.
We can get a lot of the DCWV stacks now in Spotlight that they have in the stores over there, but it's still very hard for us to get the recollections and things. I didn't even know Riot was stocking them until I went in there that day. But then 3 weeks later, I went back. They were putting them out the day I went in before Christmas, and then 3 weeks later, they were taking them off and putting them on clearance. I was just like, what the hell? They've been there 3 weeks.
Was it really? Was it 3 weeks in between we went to Sydney?
About 3 weeks from the time we went and watched our friends sing to the time we went back again for New Year.
And then back again after that, and then back again. Wow, we've been to Sydney so many times this year. Can people still do burnouts?
Probably not. We live in Bougainville. The cops will come soon.
Hopefully. Just hopefully. No, that's what we hope. It's probably not going to happen.
But Riot have 40% off. They had another one today, I think. They have, or yesterday, they have the 40% off in store quite frequently. Sometimes they do it online, but they don't carry as much online as they actually do in their store.
I didn't get my visual art started from there, did I?
I don't remember. Let it go, kiddo.
No. Because it's going to hurt my head. And then I probably won't be able to sleep because my windows are got a nice cool breezy. That's probably why.
Yeah, so much for autumn weather. It still feels like summer.
It's meant to be in the 30s this week coming. Unfortunately for me, considering I have to play dodgeball on Monday.
Well, that sounds fun, not?
After history versus history class. And of course the smartest...
Why is history playing dodgeball?
Germany, versus all the other allies. So of course Germany's gonna win.
Holy wow, that's yes, expensive. Sydney costs me a lot of money just for a weekend, and we have free accommodation.
Yeah, that's true. No, it's only because history class versus history class, and of course the smartest class gets to have Germany, and of course Germany's gonna win.
Drop the darker colour in there before I had a drink. It's a very vibrant leaf.
I know where they're doing.
Can you guys hear the burnouts that we are hearing?
I know exactly where they're doing it.
It's very loud for us. Oh, that's not very good.
Yeah, so it's Germany versus the rest of the world, basically.
Well, the rest of the world better win.
No, it's Germany that's gonna win because it's basically a reenactment of World War II.
But Germany didn't win World War II.
I know. So you know.
So how does Germany win in that case?
I have no idea. Apparently Germany's gonna win. But it has all the sporty people in there, so you know it's gonna suck. And you know, my class is the pain in the butt class that people in my class don't like. Yeah, so this would be fun. I'll just wait, what period do I? It's period 5. Straight after lunch.
I don't even know why I'm doing this with a water brush. Weekend. They're very loud. I think they've stopped for a minute now. Hopefully they keep stopping. Why are they getting into the paints?
What?
Oh, Lord. Ants.
Because there is a gap in the middle. That's what. No, I just have to make up this really smart excuse.
Ever since they started building a new estate out the back of where we live, we've just had ant palooza. It's driving me nuts. But I found out that I can get them to come and spray the ants for free. So it's too late in the season this year. They're going to be gone very soon. So next summer, yeah, as soon as it cools down, they'll be gone. Next summer, I'm going to get them to come out and spray from top to bottom.
Are you sure?
Miss Assistant is far away from the phone, playing a game on the floor and hardly talking up. She doesn't really want to be heard tonight, I don't think.
Too tired.
And grouchy.
Mostly tired. I've got to get up early in the morning.
Well, you don't.
Well, I do.
You only have to get up early if you want to go out.
That's exactly what I mean. Because I can't not. Oh, I've already done it this year, but I've like. How many times? So, the beach, the voice.
Oh, you can't talk to the person you wanted to tomorrow. They're away, aren't they?
I think so, unless they come back tomorrow.
Aren't they on a boat?
No, they're not. They actually are at the conference. So, they're not on a boat.
I'm so confused now.
Okay, so that place...
Doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
We'll discuss it later. You can fill me in later. I'm just confused in general. That's about par for the course when you're my age. I'm actually quite impressed with these paints, all things considered. Because they do say on them they are a deluxe art journaling set.
Sleep time. Oh,
so I wasn't expecting great things at all.
until you saw them, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, no, even when I opened up the thing and saw them, I was like, no, I'm not expecting great things, because half the paints fell out and it was very hard to open, and I've got to work this mechanism thingy out.
Isn't that a point? So the drink come out and explode everywhere. Oh, I can't lay down. This game, I've got to keep playing it.
And I've got I'm actually using my Lawn Fawn stamp chamois tonight. I usually use the Daiso one if I can find it, but that was the first one that I could find. I was busy doing a million things before this. I bought a heck of a lot of paper from one of the craft sales. On last Sunday they had a code, a wheel thing, and if you spun it you got X amount of something, and I got 30% off site wide, and it included the clearance section, so I bought some stuff because I just can't help myself. But I bought a bunch of papers. The Lawn Fawn stamp chamois is very expensive here. If you have a Daiso anywhere near where you live, or if you're going to be in Sydney, go to a Daiso, because they're $2.80 and they're thicker than the Lawn Fawn stamp chamois, and you can cut it up and get somewhere between 4 and 6 out of it for the price of one stamp chamois here. I mean, for $2.80, for less than the price of one stamp chamois. I like how mixing it on the paper is giving me different variations of the colour, so it looks a bit more natural.
Oh, they don't deliver.
What don't deliver?
Daiso.
No, Daiso don't deliver. You've got to go in store only.
I know, unfortunately.
I was too wrecked last time I was in Sydney to go. I went to Miranda and then I went back to my friend's house while they were out and
having fun, getting photos, but not, well, then I got told off.
I
For no reason.
had a small nap and I don't even remember what else I did.
Then wait until I got back, or wait until my friend got back, me and our friend got back. That wasn't until like 12 in the morning.
We had a very late dinner that night. We only had one place left that we could order from.
Well, I had an early dinner snack, well, snackish, and then we waited, but it was worth it.
So when you go to The Voice, you're not allowed, you're not supposed to leave. And it started at 2.
To my butt.
What time did you go in?
Well, we didn't exactly wait into the studio.
Yeah, what time did you go into the studio?
2:30-ish.
I'm getting things back to front now and went to paint straight on there. So they're supposed to be there at 2.
Well, like, okay, we were eating what we had, and then we got to sit down in a spot, but we didn't end up sitting down. And then we got directed into the studio after all the family and friends going. And then what happens is we get told to turn our phones off and put them away, because if you take photos or any videos or any photos, videos inside the place that they film it, you get in trouble. You get one warning. If you blow that chance, then you get your phone taken off you, and then so you won't have it until the very end, until everyone leaves.
I am not going to be on TV. I didn't go to The Voice. I knew that I could not sit there for the amount of hours required. It gets worse. So it was how many hours? It was 2 till, it was after 11 when you finished. So they were there for over 9 hours.
Was it really over 9 hours?
Yep.
It didn't help that our crowd was better than the Friday night's crowd. So we had to film everything from the Friday night thing.
Go away, Auntie.
And then we had to film everything for the Saturday night one. But no, we still got food and snacks.
So you sit down in your seat and you're not allowed to get up and go anywhere. You're told when you can have toilet breaks. They give you chips and lollies and water to drink, but you're only allowed chocolate, but you're only allowed to eat it and drink it at certain times when they tell you.
In between each coach's performance, like each coach's contestant people. Because if you drink it during the performances, you can basically see, because everything is taped, even during the breaks, because some of the taping is basic, like in the breaks are like different things. For example, the dance battle that we have to do and stuff like that.
So there was no way I was going for, well, my friend was there for 8 hours the night before. There was no way I was even doing 8 hours. So, and we'd gone to one before, which we had to stand up outside, and we ended up having to stand up outside for what was supposed to be 2 hours, turned into 5 hours.
But it was fun.
And I was like, nope, I'm done. I'm out. That's dedication. That's the type of dedication I don't have.
I have that dedication. I almost lost my voice that night too. I think that's part of the reason why I got sick. Don't you reckon?
Maybe.
I have just broken. Yeah, I've squashed this paper towel. I'm sorry.
So I don't have any professional grade pans. I only have Cotman, which go about as fast as this. But I'm already getting divots. You can see a divot in the... I'll take this off. You can see a divot in that red one, and I'm getting a divot in the green.
Which one? The one that I use?
So they are wearing down a little bit. That being said, I'd still be able to get a fair amount of paintings out of them.
Oh, I love visual arts assessment. I don't like that assessment. Oh, and I can use photos as well, but I'm going to make them into my own photos. So I've got to Photoshop everything if I wanted to. And make it really realistic.
Do closed rosebuds have any colour? They're just all green, aren't they? I'm trying to think from memory. I can't look on my phone because that's what we're filming with. Oh, I love this stamp. This is the first time I've actually used it. I've been dying to use it and I just haven't. So it's been sitting there for a few years waiting for me to pull my finger out and paint it.
Because you can.
Or colour it in some way.
And I have no more things left. I'm dead.
I thought it would also be a good one to use with brushos.
Oh, brushos. Brushos are awesome. And I've used up my gold already. That's bad.
I haven't tried the Gansai Tanby. They're a bit opaque, aren't they? From what I've heard, but I don't really know much about them. Oh, that was a bit thick.
I didn't use all of them. Okay.
That's probably a little bit too much paint, but that's all right.
Yes, I know. Caring for my pets equals a long life.
Somebody's over there playing games on her phone. Yeah, I'm a bit sad that they stopped doing the free post. At least it's a flat rate, but at the same time, apart from a few sales that they've had, I'm not as fussed on Blitzy as I used to be. Their prices used to be phenomenal, but if you go and check out their Kaisercraft prices, they're more expensive than here now, and they used to be cheaper.
And you don't like that, do you?
Of course not. Don't get as many bargains.
I shouldn't laugh, but you know.
And I'm talking about full price, of course, obviously, not when we get our 50% off, 40% off, whatever sale they have on at that moment.
Oh, I might win this game. I won! Finally, I've been stuck on this level. I've got past the level. Can I just fall asleep right here?
You're going to be comfortable right there?
Yeah, I actually am, surprisingly.
This is turning out far better than I expected.
Even though I'm using a paper towel roll.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, I know our exchange rate is ridiculously low too, but even I think their American prices aren't as great as they used to be.
I can, but you know, Mum.
She's helping me.
Meant to be helping.
Yes, and she was meant to be painting, but she got bored with that. So that's
I was falling asleep.
Painting that'll probably never be finished.
I'm sorry. Plus, I stuffed it up because, you know.
Doesn't matter if you go out of the lines. I can show you how to
No.
fix that.
That's not what I meant. It doesn't look nice with the two different coloured green variations.
It will be fine if you add some more of those coloured green on the other side, and if you layer up another colour over it. It's fixable. Trust me. Yeah, I know. I'm your mother. That's not going to happen.
Trust me, they say. No, because I'll probably fall asleep, and I don't want to fall asleep.
What'd you say? What? Do you want me to show you what I'm doing? How to do it like I'm doing it? No? Okay. I offered.
No, you know what my favourite ones are.
Well, I told you you could go and get them.
But that's effort, and I'll probably lay down in my bed and then fall asleep.
Oh yeah, don't do that.
Huh?
I said, oh yeah, don't do that.
Why? Why don't go to sleep? It's 10:49.
Because you were supposed to be helping me.
Do what?
Telling me when people comment, you know, because I can't see.
But you know, it's me. I'm your daughter. You know how I work. You know what I'm like. I start helping and then I stop. That's what I am and who I am. And I'm helpful with everyone else, just not at
Done
home.
it again.
Aren't I, Mother?
What?
Helpful
Pain in the bum.
everywhere else, but not at home.
Yes. Helpful for everybody else, but not for Mum.
No, I prefer to stay down here. Because I am comfy where I am.
She wants to fall asleep on the floor. Kids.
I could do that anyways, but okay. I want over 14 things. And it's not gonna happen. Do it. I need over 14 things to be connected. It's over 14. Why is that not working? So they're not all connected anymore. this game. Very frustrating. Pom. Pom. Pom.
Oh dear. Almost done the flower. I do want to add some shimmer to it. I maybe should have done it while it was wet though. I didn't think of that.
I prefer photography. Game time, mother.
Yep. She likes stealing my camera that I film with and taking photos.
Yes, but they're very good photos, like the ones at the beach and Papermill. I'm hungry too now.
Well, eat something.
Like
Eat your
what?
Kit Kat.
No,
Don't you like it?
I do, but I don't feel like chocolate. Isn't that odd for me to say?
We had a, what was it? A mint,
I don't know.
garden mint and dark chocolate ice cream earlier.
That's nice.
I think it was a artisan one. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I think I want to darken up this one. Just going to see if I can add another layer of water in it. This could be suicide here, but we'll see.
It could be what?
Picture suicide.
Okay. That's exactly what I heard.
Oh, and then I put my finger in the wet bit.
Douche. Down. Up. Down. Down. Got it. Finished that level. Finally. And in last place, unfortunately. But with 15 coins.
Okay, which gold? Tiana, which gold?
Oh, let me just get up. Hang on. I'll do a sit up.
Quick while it's wet.
Oh, ow. The one that looks like the gold for rings. No, hang on. The third one in.
This one?
No. Wrong one.
Oh, you want the really gold? I don't think that's going to work. I think that's going to be too gold.
Oh, well, you said gold, so I said that one.
I should have said which metallic. I think that's going to be a little too much. Let's just add a tiny
And she
amount.
said that you're so good at colouring.
Oh, thank you.
Whoops. I blew that onto your one. Oopsie.
Let's make the watercolour sparkly.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got a little bit too much there. Oh wow, that is so pretty.
Oh, ow.
That's such a pretty shimmer.
And she said you're welcome.
I don't know if I should add it to all. I think I might just pick random ones to add some of that shimmer to.
Hold on.
What?
I don't know how to say the M word. How do you say it?
She doesn't want to paint at all. She's done. She's tapped out tonight.
For now.
I did a monochromatic flower.
I don't know. What does that mean?
One colour.
Huh?
One colour.
Oh.
She's upset because she used two different greens and she doesn't think she can fix it. But if she...
No, because I like your ones better. Like the other ones that are sitting on my stairs.
Yeah, but you could fix it with them even. Both of those colours are in that set. Or something very similar.
Yeah.
So I might just pick some spots to add.
No, I'll go get them.
water.
I'm gonna get them now.
Then I'm going to pick up a small amount of this.
Visual arts, visual arts.
Wow. This is so pretty. I'm just adding the sparkle to not every petal, just a few here and there.
Bam. Which one's, this one's my favourite one. This one's my favourite one.
What colour is it?
I don't know. Doesn't say.
Okay, hang on. Let's pull out the swatch book for Mission Gold.
It's the... I need to practice doing water.
Cotman, Aquatone, Van Gogh, I should say.
No,
James, Tombows, Superior. Superior, Intense.
You don't have one.
I don't have a swatch by the looks of it for this.
Of course.
So we'll have to do a swatch for the... I thought I had a swatch for them.
Which
For the
one was I
Mission Gold.
using? I was using this one.
Oh my goodness. Can the ants just go away?
This one. I'll do a little one. I'll do a little in my favourite colour.
You can put some colour on the other side. I stuffed that up when I was...
Which one?
That side. I stuffed it up.
No.
Okay, where do I want a petal on this side? I think I might do this petal over here.
This one's my favourite one. I make good.
Oops, that was way too much. Way too much. Oh, way too much shimmer. Pull some off.
Wait,
And spread the rest
No,
out.
it's still on there. Damn it! I hate these sometimes because you have to you have to like do it really well just to get the colour off. When it doesn't come off, it frustrates me.
I really want some of the Coloro Fine Tech shimmers, but these were only $16 on Amazon, so that's pretty cheap for here, so I grabbed them.
It's trying to figure out which other one I was using. I think it was this one.
And these are very pretty as well.
I was using this one.
These are the Genzo Tambi Starry Nights.
And this one I was using. Do you have any?
So Viridian and something else.
Do you have any rivers that I can paint? Because I need to start getting in the juice of painting. I free-handed one then. I free-handed a river in my visual arts diary. Can I go get my visual arts diary and practice in there? Yeah. Yes. But I'm not going to put that on the table because it's too...
Yes, it's a bit big.
Too big.
Okay, I'm just going to pull that out.
Isn't that good? I'm getting my visual arts diary.
Practice for your assignment.
Unfortunately.
I don't know if you can see how shimmery that is. Is it coming up at all?
Huh? What?
Let's see if I can come closer to the... Whoa! I don't think it's showing up at all.
I'm in year 10.
You can see a little bit of shine. I just picked the light up and dropped everything and...
I'm in year 10. I finish in 2 years. Yeah.
So I might just make the buds completely shimmery.
So you can see kind of, but not really. Do you like my brush thing when we had like a period to do it?
Did you have brush-os at school?
Yeah, but they're not good ones.
do you mean they're not good ones? All brushes are good brushes. Not good colours.
Yeah. How did it get into here? What?
What?
The ink. You can sit up there now. Stupid ant. That's my interpretation of one of what do you think it is? Mountain Road. Where is it? Arthur Boyd.
Oh, how did I get green in there?
I don't know. How did you get green in there?
I don't know. I'll throw some sparkle over it. That makes everything better.
I may not have it in here anymore. That's when I was knocking around and trying to see what I like. Don't know. It's depending if the subjects that I want to do will run for year 11 and 12. Because if the subjects that don't run, then I'll most likely end up at TAFE. Unfortunately.
Did I drop some sparkle in the middle of this? No, we need some sparkle in the middle.
I have no idea. Okay, that means I don't have the rivers in my thingy. And I'm possibly going to need a new visual arts diary.
Maybe you should practice in your old visual arts diary. Where is it?
That one's almost finished too.
Oh, there we go. I think that is going to make a wonderful card front.
Can I put that down here?
That's so pretty. The water. Yep,
Yeah.
you may. I am done. Oh, actually, I just... No. Hang on. I need to fix one section up. Sorry.
I need a thin paintbrush. Do you have a thin, like a really thin paintbrush?
Yep.
That I can borrow?
Yes.
It's not a crappy one.
Okay, hopefully that will dry a bit better.
Not really, but like the majority of my year group will drop out. Hopefully the people who just that I don't get along with do. But it's just depending if the subjects run. Because if the subjects don't run, then that's the problem. But then again, I could do the E-Vet and the vet courses. But I don't exactly want to do hospitality. But then again, I'm guessing you would want me to do my HSC. But I don't want to do my HSC. But that's the only thing that would really get me.
We just have to find out what your options are for next year.
I'll find out next time. But my number one thing is going to be photography. So that's really the only thing that I like doing. And from what my friends said, well, from my year advisor to what my friends said, that the that family and community services is basically a follow-on from child studies, but I would find that a lot more difficult and hard to believe. Can I have the thingy now, please?
Yes, you may have the thingy.
And I need a thinner paintbrush too, please.
Wet that one and see how it does. I've got this tiny one.
Yeah, that's probably going to be it.
Okay, that's a very good brush, so be careful with that one. Okay.
Oh wow, it is really thin.
I told you it was tiny. That is my finished flower. I really like how it's turned out.
Yeah, that's me, and I can't get away from all the bullies because they're all in my classes and it's hard to get away. So, you know.
I've got a little bit of sparkle because I really wanted to try out the Gansai Tambis on something other than just a swatch, which is all they've been used for so far. So I'm happy to have pulled that out. I'm quite that. Yes, that is how thin the paintbrush is. No, it is not going to be used for makeup. It is red sable. You cannot use it for your makeup.
I just put it on my eyelid.
No, I think we're done. So we'll have another look at the swatches, and I'll show you which colours I used.
Yep.
So, do you have a lot of watercolour paints?
Well, we can show this one.
Oh, you've got the Ganzai Tambies. So from the reject shop, I got this stamp set, which was $2.50.
I was just about to show her this.
You can show her that in a second. And this stamp, and I bought it. I wasn't super fussed on what was on it. I thought I might use the words, but these words are so tiny down here. They're made for making invitations, but I thought that would be a perfect swatcher. Perfect for doing swatches. So this is the colours. I just have to go and write the Papermill on all of them. I'll turn it around the right way. So we've got white, lemon yellow, medium yellow, yellow ochre, tangerine, brilliant red, cadmium red, crimson lake, rose madder, yellow green, light green, and sap green, which I used the sap green and the permanent green for the leaves, and the cad red, I think. No, I must have used crimson lake for the flower. I should have used cad red. It would have been more redder that way, but that's all right. I think my mum will like it like that anyway. Then we have the Viridian, Cerulean, Turquoise, Permanent Green, Ultramarine, Cobalt Blue, Violet, Payne's Grey, Black, Sepia, Burnt Umber, and Burnt Sienna. Burnt Sienna, yeah. So they aren't too bad, all things considered. As I said, there is a bit of a divot in there from where I have been painting the flower in both of those colours. But I did that whole painting and the divots are very small, so it's still going to get a lot of painting out of them. And 24 half pans isn't for $30, and they often have the 40% off sales. I wouldn't recommend buying them when they're $50. Then you can get proper student grade paints with...
Like this?
You can get proper student grade paints in 12 pan sets with proper light fast ratings and everything for around the same price. I really like the Van Gogh paints, and they're, depending on where you get them from, I don't know about here. I bought mine in Bali and they were $3 a tube. I'm kicking myself for not buying more of the Van Gogh paints when I was in Bali, because they are quite nice. Oh, I have some De La Rowney Aquafine paints in here. I forgot about them. Do I have the... This is my running sap green. I should add the sap green to this while I'm at it. I keep swatches of my sap green on here to see what the different ones look like. But my favourite is still the Daniel Smith. I just love that sap green for some reason. I own a small amount of... I own one packet of Zigs. I own the Galaxy set. In this book, I don't have my Mission Golds in here, weirdly. I thought I did, but I have the Winsor & Newtons, and I've got, for my sap green, I've got Cotman, Mission Gold, Van Gogh, Daniel Smith, Winsor & Newton, and I just added the Papermill one to it. I ended up knocking the colour back of the sap green in this with some of the, what colour was that? Permanent green? Permanent green deep. So, and it worked out really well because I got some variation in the colour in the leaves. And then I also have new gamboge in here, and gamboge of different companies. I think I have an original Daniel Smith gamboge, but I can't. Is it gamboge? Or no, it's not that one. It's not the gamboge. Hang on. I've got the De La Rowney Aquafine. I have one M Graham, I have one Memory Blue and I hate it. It slides right out of the back of my palette and I'm wondering where that palette went. I had it earlier. My cat kept sleeping on that palette. Do you know where the Daniel Smith palette went? Oh, you put it up there.
Did we get it?
Yes, please. So we have the...
I kind of dyed your paintbrush.
It doesn't matter. Derwent Aquatones. And they are actually a little opaque, I think, the Aquatones. But you can still find them, but they don't make them anymore. I have the Cotmans. The Cotmans, I would use a lot of paint for... I made this swatch book. This is actually 100... This I turned this paper into a book. And that's scrapbooking paper on the outside.
Uh-oh.
Is it sliding about all over the place? Oh no, one of the paints fell out, yes.
Yeah, and it's in the,
Oh, did the yellow get in the purple again?
Yep. I don't want to fix that because I don't want to touch
yeah, it's alright, I'll fix it. So they're the Cotmans, and some people say they're fine. I don't like them. After transitioning to other paints, I really don't like them.
I stuffed the lining part up.
Then I've got the Van Gogh, and I was good and only bought 8 colours, but I'm wishing I had bought so many more. Yeah. Then these are the Jane Davenport palettes, which are quite nice. I don't mind them. I like playing with them. And they're portable too. So this is the set of Tombow Galaxies that I have.
Are you showing me?
Sure, Lana. And then this is the Superior 42 set, that one that fans out.
How are you going to show them this?
And I was painting a rose with that over here. I don't know why I chose that colour. But then I put the wrong colour on the outside and I was upset. And that's the cocktail colours. They are mixed with white. Then we have the Intense palette. I got some light fast pencils and I think that's all that's in it. So we need to start adding more swatches in there.
Like this.
I sure can, but I have done the same thing. And if you go on their website, they are in the right order. They're not printed on the side. I can take a photo of it and send it to you.
I'm going to show this after I get some more paint.
Because I've done the same thing. They fall out so easily out of that palette. And we have picked them up, I don't know how many times off the floor.
Are they the ones on the new ones?
The Cotman ones. Oh, even Miss Assistant doesn't like the Cotmans.
Like, they fall out and some of them don't even dry. I talking about them ones or the ones out there?
The Queen Gold. I have the original Queen Gold. So I want to get a tube of the... Yeah, and some of them are chalky and... Yeah, I don't know. I've got a big divot in my alizarin crimson. But if you see here... I don't know why I have paint sliding about all over the place, but this is the Memory Blue paint, and because it has honey in it in Australia, and I think it might have a high concentration of honey, these ones look like they're wet, but they're dry. But this one, you can see it's sliding all around my palette. I don't want to waste it. I have this thing where I don't want to waste paint, but it is driving me nuts. Miss Assistant wants you to see our... Mission Gold palette.
The ones that I keep taking to school and my teacher
absolutely Yes, because I've been letting her take them to school. So this is the Mission Gold palette. I got the set that came with it. So you get the 36 paints and the pan, and I think it cost me about $76 Australian, which was probably about $55, $60 US. And I got it from South Korea, so I got it posted over here from South Korea. And the only paint that seems to have cracked a little is that green one, but I don't know why it's done that now because it wasn't like that before.
Which one?
So that's a bit weird, that green one.
I haven't used it, so it's not me.
No, I know. And there's cat hair in it. Oh. Cat hair gets everywhere in this house. Oh. So some of these are a bit sticky. Like I just touched that and it came off on my finger. But
just don't touch that one.
Yeah, I touched a red one. But
that one?
with the May Marie, it just slides all around my palette. So I don't know if it's just that colour or because we can get May Marie pretty cheap here. I think they're a 10 or a 15 ml tube and they're less than $10. And so I was contemplating getting more because they're supposed to be artist grade, but I can't. I'd have to use them straight from the tube. I couldn't make them into pans, and for some reason I like making pans.
Yes, you do. Especially for travelling.
So I'm going to have to work out which which paints I don't have in my book. I have bought so many paints lately. Sorry for the rustling. But I finally got my hands on some Australian art spectrum.
What's that? Oh, then. I thought you were getting me swatching them as well.
Not tonight. So I bought lemon yellow. I only bought one yellow. There you go. Phthalo blue, Antwerp blue, Pilbara red, Flinders blue violet, and Spectrum red. I think I only got one yellow because I really wanted to get the Flinders blue violet. Let's see if we can open it. Such a pretty colour. Look at that. I can't wait to play with these.
Of course.
And I've been buying some of the Daler Rowney artist ones, and I've got a lot of colours of them. And I keep going to the art shop, the local art shop, because they have them on clearance, so they're not going to be there much longer. So I just buy a couple here and there. Unfortunately, they ran out of blues, so I only have one blue. By the time I found out about the sale, they only had one blue left. But the colours I have are nickel titanate yellow, yellow ochre, quin red, perylene maroon, neutral tint, phthalo blue green shade, permanent magenta, gamboge hue, alizarin crimson hue, and ultramarine violet. So I want to get another blue for that, but I'm going to wait to do that video until I finish buying paints because I'm just going in there about once a week, and some colors I keep putting back, some of the more expensive colors, and then there's usually more than one of them left, and I figure if they're still there in a week, the colors that I like, if they're still there in a week and they haven't sold, then I can buy them. So I'll have to give this a bit of a clean out. I just think it's so cute that it came with this little ceramic dish that you can make washes in.
Oh wait, no, because that's for that drawing. I was going to say, can I try something but
what? Do you want this? Or do you want this?
I wanted that.
Okay, take the little dish. Take it away. The only thing I didn't like about this was how hard it was to open. I don't know if there's a trick to it. But, oh, now I got it open that time. The first time it was just really hard. And the paints actually flung out and went everywhere. So anyway, I think we are done for tonight. We thank you for watching. She has a paintbrush in her mouth. And we are going to say good night. I'm really happy with how that turned out, and I think it's going to make a great card for my mum. I'm just going to
anything that you do.
Yes.
So you can't complain.
I really, really love these starry colours. They're so pretty. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Bye. We'll just have to find the end button.